What is up, boyos? It is Water Buffalo Man here, and I'm back for more Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle. Alright, so we're going to be showcasing the 55% new LR Broly. Not much to say about it. Let's just jump in and see what he can do. We're going to be taking on the Legendary Freeze event, which is generally our go-to event for showcases. So let's hop on in, see what this man can do, and really push him to his limit in this stage. And we're going to be doing the same thing with the Gogeta going forward in this exact same stage. So the rotation we're looking for is to have the dual Brolys, the Fizz Broly plus the new AGL Broly on the same rotation, because when both of these transform, they share links, which is kind of nice. So it works perfectly. But turn one, without anything built up, only sharing 2 links, and the 50% support. No, 70% support. Oh no, never mind. Yeah, no, it's 70% support. So the super high support off of this Kid Buu, he's sitting at about 253,000 defense and just over a 1 milli attack stat. Again, like I said, he doesn't have many links active right now, only 2. So that kind of doesn't help too much to see what he could really do. But let's just... 9.4 million turn 1. That's kind of ridiculous, hitting a 9.4 milli turn 1 with guaranteed at least double super, because of the way his passive works. I probably should have read his passive over a little bit, but I know I did that during the banner breakdowns we did a couple days ago, so that's why I really didn't dive into it. But this man can hit, right there as you saw, 3 straight supers, as you're seeing, should I say, 3 straight supers. Let me turn the audio back on. I forgot to turn the music off because of the Blizzard soundtrack that plays. Quad super from the Broly, just completely bodying this stage. Just right off the rip, this man's hitting, I think that's another 6 milli super attack. So he hit collectively 6, 12, 18, probably 30 million is what he was doing there. It was about 30 mil attack stat. That's kind of ridiculous, especially turn 1. That just shows how busted he is. Kid Buu, 11 million. Let's just let him body this stage. Hopefully, yes he did. Okay, so that wipes that out real quick. 1, 2, 3. So this is the rotation we want, but we're not actually going to keep it on this rotation. This friend one is 69%, slightly better than mine. We're going to rotate my Broly off to try to get him on with the other one. But so this Broly gets key 5, attack and defense 100%, launches additional super attack for 4 turns from entry turn, gets an additional 150% attack, guards all attacks, plus an additional attack or additional key +1 per key sphere obtained, plus additional 50% attack when performing a super, plus additional defense of 50% if it's an ultra super. Key +2 and launches an additional super as the first or second attacker in turn. Key +6 and launches an additional super and high chance of launching another additional super as a third attacker in turn. So he could legitimately launch 4 to 5 supers every single time he's up there. And he just completely bodies most stages. So the rotations are going to be the Zamasu and this Goku Black and the 2 Brolys. It's pretty much going to be my best bet for that rotation. But I just got to get the Broly side by side, so that's going to just take a little bit of a minute. But once they do get side by side, we'll be alright. And since they share almost the same links as Super Saiyan Broly and Super Saiyan Broly Full Power, the 2 Broly side by side completely just body most events. So we're going to end up rotating... Are we going to rotate the Zamasu off just yet? We are not going to. We're going to wait one more turn to rotate that Zamasu off. Going to give him these. And we're going to give him those. We brought the Janemba because of the support, but 9.9 million. Broly raises his attack on his super, I think. And I think it stacks. Let me double check that, but I think it stacks infinitely for both cards. Greatly raises attack, and then greatly raises... Yeah, I think it stacks for both of them, and it continues for the rest of the fight. I'm looking on Dokkan Wiki at the moment, and it looks like it stacks both of them. But I'm not entirely sure. Let me double check actually in-game just to verify that. Okay, so raises attack, greatly raises attack. Yep, so that means stacking. He stacks attack on both supers, which is kind of fantastic. So now at 69%, which I think the friend is 69%. Let me double check. Yes, the friend at 69%, sitting at about 500k defense. 470, which isn't terrible, and he has guard. He has guaranteed guard. So let's see what he takes this super for the third form Frieza. about nothing. Kind of expected. But let's see what his super attacks do. 13 million. This is the 69% friend hitting 13 million on a 200% team. This guy is completely busted. But I'm hoping we get better luck leading into part 2 on the summons, though. We got the BROLY really quick. It took us less than 250 stones. It took us less than 1 rotation. But we went over almost 1,500 stones to get Gogeta and all the tickets. So that kind of really put us behind on the 8 ball a bit in terms of summoning. I'm hoping part 2 gets better luck. We're not going back in on any banners for the remainder of part 1. We need to absolutely save. Save. Everything that gets done, we need to save and collect stones. We will not be doing any collabs at all now. We were going to, but there is no physical way I could with how little bit of stones I have. And unless if they start to announce stuff, I don't think I will be doing anything. But alright, we got to get the Goku Black and the Zamasu on rotation here probably next turn. Is what we're aiming for. So we're going to rotate the BROLY off and put the Zamasu with this Goku Black. That, in my opinion, is going to be, for this Super Bosses team, that's probably going to be the best rotations. Is to do the Goku Black and the Fizz Goku Black and the Zamasu, and then the BROLY side by side. Because you could feasibly run dual Brolys, like keep one in this Super Saiyan form and then one in the full power mode, because they do link that way. They share 7 out of 7 links, and you don't need to transform them. There's nothing that tells you have to. But alright, there it is. We have my BROLY side by side now. So let's actually activate this. Give him all of those. And let's look at them side by side comparison with their 5 out of 7 links active. 5 out of 7, he's sitting at 249,000 defense and just over 2 mil attack stat. No support unit on rotation. Am I a little worried about this BROLY in slot 2 getting bodied? A bit, but I'm thinking he'll be alright as long as he just does a couple supers. So let's just test it and see what happens. We didn't bring any items. Again, the goal for my showcases are never to beat the stage necessarily. Let's see what he takes a super for. 97,000. That's pre-super. He didn't super at all yet. So 8.8 million. Not terrible. Mine hasn't fully built up. Again, and also mine is only 55%, and I do not have any equips on them because we know we are getting some from the event that will be dropping within the next week. So right now we are not having any equips on them at all. 8.7 million. So the BROLY didn't do too terrible in slot 1. I mean, it's one of those where I'm probably going to need to get them side by side, the LRs, just for them to really show off a little bit, is to get those two. It's probably going to have them side by side best linking partners. Is going to be the best option. But I wanted to keep this Fizz BROLY with mine, but I don't think that's going to be feasibly possible, honestly, in terms of me getting the great damage numbers out that I need. The great damage numbers I'd like to show. I was hoping to build up my BROLY's attack stat a little bit more, which is what we did, or trying to do. That's why we didn't transform him right there. We're going to try to give it at least another 2 turns before we transform him, but I don't know if we're going to be able to do that. Alright, so we're going to rotate him off. Give you all those. Give you those. And give you those. Hopefully Janemba in slot 1 doesn't just get bodied here. I don't think he should. Nah, he's fine. Because we got to rotate that off. And because next time the Goku Black comes around, we'll have Zamasu, so we'll have that rotation set up. And then we should have the BROLYs lined up next turn. Because this BROLY will rotate off after this turn. So he won't appear this following turn, but he will appear probably on the end stage, which is kind of where we need him to be. So let's see. Well, actually, it depends on how much health the Frieza has left if we're going to be able to see him at, like, max capacity. Ooh, we might, actually. Because we do have the support of that Janemba this turn. We might actually get... I think we'll actually have Kid Buu on the same rotation as him when we get them together. I'm not entirely sure. I'll have to take a look. No, I don't think we're going to. I think we're going to have the Zamasu up for that turn. Or the dual BROLYs, I think is what's going to happen. Which is kind of okay as well. Whoa, Goku Black, this isn't your showcase, bro. Chill out. You were bodying things last night, but this is not your showcase. I need you to step aside for a minute and let BROLY do some work. Or not. Great. Perfect. Ideal. Alright, so since we have the Kid Buu on rotation, which is a super support for this team, pretty much, I'm thinking of transforming my BROLY and keeping the friend one at... Yeah, we'll do that. I'll transform mine. And then keep the friend one there. Which now we got the domain activated as well. But he buffs up the enemy freeze as well, which is only kind of another issue. But I digress. Let's see what he looks like. Max key, max stats right now. 500, except for max stats, he's linking, missing this defensive stat. Or this link skill. But it wouldn't affect unless if he has 50% HP or less, which we do not. But he would be missing legendary power, which would translate to about 15% more. But sitting at first turn transformed, he's sitting at just over 6 million, almost 6.5, and about 562,000 defense. His passive reads as follows. Key plus 6, attack and defense at 300%. Guards all attacks. Plus an additional key plus 1 per key sphere obtained. Reduces damage received by 26% before attacking while the domain extra dimensional space is active, which is what we just activated. He gets guard plus that damage reduction in slot 1, which is ideal. By all of his attacks from Freezer and slot 2, that's why he's there. Plus additional 50% when attacking. Plus an additional defense of 50% when receiving an attack. Launches an additional super attack. And a chance of performing a critical hit plus 26% when performing a super attack. Launches another additional super attack. And a chance of performing a critical hit of 26% when there is an ultra super attack. And launches an additional super attack and key is 24. So you can launch 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 super attacks before even breaking into his hidden potential. It's 4 or 5. So 12 million from the Fizz BROLY, which is kind of pretty busted that this guy's still hitting 12 milli. I didn't think to look at his defense, but 12 million, that's kind of fire, I'm not going to lie. 12.5 million from this man. This man kind of fell off for a little while. He kind of disappeared. But you might actually be able to get away with using him now on a lot of teams with this rotation. Now that he's got an ideal linking partner. Bro, this is not your showcase. Chill. You are BROLY, but not you. You're not the right one. I do not need you showcasing yourself here. I need you to relax. So let's see here what we got. 23 million turn 1, 55% BROLY. Granted, this is a Kid Buu support on there, but 23 million is kind of ridiculous for turn 1. Additional super of 16 million. Kind of nuts. That's 39 million right there. And this is an AoE for this 16 million. Can we get another? I know we're getting another super. So another 16 million. So that's 32 plus 23. That's 55 million from 3 out of the 5 super attacks this man can and will launch. I'm interested to see how he would fare against some of the new blue zones. I really am. We're not going to activate the domain of anybody yet because we can't. But we're going to go like this. And we're going to give them those. Hopefully they don't complete this stage. Hopefully we can survive on. Hopefully the Frieza survives on, until the next turn. So we can actually get the BROLYs side by side, have 7 out of 7 links, and then see what they do. Because it's not going to do anywhere near as much damage probably because of the fact that we're losing the Kid Buu support. But it'd be interesting to see what 7 out of 7 links looks like. But either way, he just hit 55 million over 3 super attacks at 55%, which is just insane to me that he's hitting that kind of damage. Just blows my mind. And this Zamasu is going to do just fine. But yeah, realistically, if this is the rotation you're going with, these two, I think you have it's really easy to beat most fights with this team. You're not going to struggle at all, especially with the BROLYs. They could just powerhouse through it for you. That's nothing. Ooh, we might be below 50% health. We legitimately might be below 50% health. Yes, we are. And we're getting that too. We're not below 50% anymore, but let's go like this. And they have 7. They do not have that 7th link active because we went above 50% health again. I forgot I had that support memory on, but that would kind of fill in as if we had a support unit on rotation. So With these links active, all 6, Broly is sitting on 366,000 defense without a support unit on rotation. Not terrible, but let's see what that attack stat looks like. Gets his defensive buff right there, so that just went up by 50% from taking that hit. So remember, 23 million turn 1 last time. 24 million now with the best linking partner. And kind of like a 15% support pretty much with that Icarus activated. 7 million. Another 17 million. Broly does not stack attack when in this state. It's for 1 turn only. Another 17.9 million. So that's 2 17 millions and a 24 million. So that's they're 59 million, 58, 59 million, give or take. 18.6. That puts him at like 75 million attack stat for just this turn. And I think he can still launch 1 more super attack. I legitimately think he can still launch 1 more. Like he launched a normal instead. But those numbers are kind of ridiculous from this man. So he hit upwards of 75 million in terms of super attack damage in his transformed state. That's kind of nuts. I'm going to have to mute the music here. Sorry, guys. That's kind of nuts that this man hit 75 million. Yes, we're sitting on 230 stones, but we're not touching any banners until part 2. 75 million. That's crazy. But thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys next time when we take on the Fighting Legend Frieza stage with Gogeta. See you guys then.